Words I did not expect to say 2 weeks into the Bears season is this. It feels like last year. It feels like last year, and that is not a good thing. Welcome into our Chicago Bears Now postgame show. My name is Harrison Graham. The Lions pants, embarrass, demolish, insert any adjective you like. 52-21 over the Chicago Bears. Let me repeat. It's week 2. 52-21 over the Chicago Bears. I'm just going to ask out of the gates. Are the Bears cursed? Are the Bears cursed? Will they ever be good? Are they cursed? Type Y for yes, they are. Type N for no, they are not. I don't even really know where to start. Let's start with the quarterback, and then I do want to hit the end of the half sequence here. There's going to be a lot of Caleb discussion this week. I really don't think this game's about Caleb. I thought he played pretty well in the first half. He was 14 of 19 for 136 and 2 touchdowns and a pick in the first half. Couldn't really get into a rhythm after halftime. He started holding it a little bit longer than he was in the first half. The protection started to break down. I thought the O-line started to struggle in the second half. He started missing throws. So, 14 and 19? So 5 for 11 in the second half. Just wasn't as good overall. But I don't really know how to evaluate this performance because this game got so out of hand so quickly in the second half. I don't know really how you judge Caleb here. So you guys do that how you see fit. Incomplete performance, I mean, certainly not good enough to win, but is Tyson Bagent staying in this game? Is he getting into a shootout in this game? It seems pretty unlikely. So I don't know. I gave Caleb a C- last week. I actually thought he played a little better this week. C+, not good enough, but still not very good. Let's come back to this, Colin. You can just go to mix and match graphic-wise, however you want to do this, in the Bears' 52-21 loss. Let's talk about the end of the first half because, look, it was egregious. It was completely egregious, and it had an impact on the game. It's not why you lost in the end because you can't fold like the Bears clearly did. But what happened at the end of the first half is a complete unacceptable sequence from the NFL officiating. So the Bears cut it to 7, 21-14. Lions are driving to try and respond. They're in field goal range. Jared Goff throws a sideline fade ball to Isaac Tesla, who one-hands it for his second career catch. He has 2 career catches, both one-handed. Pretty remarkable. It was an unreal catch. Here's the thing, though. He was clearly inbounds, contacted down, should have been a winding clock, which, if you're watching live, that appeared to be what was happening. And Jared Goff spikes the ball with 0 seconds left, even on replay, 0 seconds left, and I'm screaming, that's into half, and they're talking about it, they're reviewing it. I'm like, okay, they'll review it, but clearly 0 seconds left. So what happens? The sideline official apparently, even though the lead official was not aware in real time because he let the clock wind, he called Tesla out of bounds. So they reviewed it, which I don't know how they review it after Goff snaps the ball and spikes it, and they determined that no, he wasn't out of bounds, but they went with the sideline official's call even after we saw it all play out. So what happens then? Tesla was out of bounds. Wasn't, but that's what they ruled it, with 16 seconds left. But since after review he was inbounds, by rule it's a 10-second runoff. He was ruled down at 16 seconds left. So instead of the clock winding down, Detroit gets a huge break. Clock runs down to 6 seconds, and they're able to snap the ball and throw a touchdown pass. It is a complete fuck up by the officiating. And it should not be something that's not talked about just because of what ended up happening in this game. It was that egregious. So that's out of the way. Embarrassing call. Last week I didn't even mention that much about the officiating because you know what? Sometimes you don't get good calls. But it was brutal. Instead of down 21-14 at the half, you're down 28-14. Now here's the problem. The Bears completely folded in the second half. 3 and out of the gates. Lions score, stopped again. They kick a field goal, stopped again. They score a touchdown. You can't just fold. And I think that is my biggest concern 2 weeks into the season is that's what feels like last year. It felt like they quit in the second half. How many times did it feel like that last year? You can't quit, man. You cannot quit. And, coaches can say, I saw effort, this and that. And I'm not saying they're not trying at all, but when you start missing tackles consistently and you're not blocking as well, like there's just little things you can point to, like, yeah, effort doesn't seem there. Game's out of reach, so they've just folded. You can't do that, man. This team does not handle adversity well. And week 1, after the BS Darnell Wright hold that was not a hold but was called a hold, you missed the field goal. You're still up 11 to start the 4th. You give up 21 straight points, lose the game. This week, the end of the half sequence, you get outscored in the second half 24-7. Just get pantsed. Got to be better. I get it. Human nature can take over. They got fucked on that call. But what are you going to do? You're making millions of bucks. You're just going to lay down? It felt like they laid down after that. And that's a major concern because that is one thing with this new coaching staff I was not concerned about. We didn't know how good they'd be. I was optimistic. Clearly a mistake. I fell for it again. I did not expect this, though. You fold. Game's over because you got screwed at the end of the half. You're down 14 getting the ball. You can get back into it. Nope. 3 and out. Defense going to get a stop. Nope. Straight down the field. Jahmyr Gibbs just turning defenders' ankles. Nashawn Wright and Kevin Byard just lost in coverage. Jamison Williams open by 20 yards on a post route. It can't happen. It cannot happen. And here we are again. You're 0-2, and it feels like the season is on the brink already. All freaking ready. And that's why you needed to close that game out last week. You got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to put a team away when it's there to put a team away. And they just could not do it. And now you faced an even tougher game this week. And with respect to the Bears, they did fight in the first half and made a lot of mistakes, but should have only been down 7. But then you get a horrible call against you, and you just fold. I'm concerned, man. I am very, very concerned. We'll talk more about the nuts and bolts of what happened in this game and look ahead here in just a moment, but I do want to shout out today's sponsor. That is Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I might be wrong on the Bears, or might have been wrong on the Bears, but I'm still launching Prize Picks lineups every single week, baby. It's very easy to play Prize Picks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections and 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. Certain lineups can turn $10 into $20,000. For week 2, Prize Picks is offering a max discount. Travis Kelce, more than half a receiving yard. I paired that with Caleb Williams, more than half a touchdown pass, a goblin pick, which is easier to hit. He threw 2, so that cashed, assuming Kelce has at least 1 catch for positive yardage. $20 entry to win $40. But again, you can do up to 6 player lineups. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. So where do you go from here? I mean, just the flow of the game. We already talked about Caleb. Mixed bag, not good enough, but I thought he actually played a pretty good first half. DeAndre Swift had a critical error in this game. You were driving to potentially go tie the game up or at least get a field goal attempt, down 14-7. He fumbles, they recover. He did average 5.3 yards per carry. I actually thought you were getting decent push in the running game, and you kind of went away from it again. And don't forget the sequence, and if you did miss it, there was a point in the game where you had a 2nd and 1, a 3rd and 1, and a 4th and 1. Didn't convert any of them. Caleb throws incomplete on 2nd down. QB sneak on 3rd down, stuffed. QB sneak on 4th down, stuffed. Ben, if you are going to run a QB sneak, it needs to either be a tush push, or if Caleb's not a good QB sneak quarterback, you have to run the ball with Roschon Johnson or Kyle Monangai. Why is Roschon Johnson active if he's not on the field in that exact situation? I don't get it whatsoever. He's allergic to handing the ball off to Kyle Monangai. All of this stuff was in garbage time when the game was over. He had a couple of nice runs down the stretch. There's just a lot of alarm bells ringing. Colston Loveland, nowhere to be found. 1 target in garbage time from Tyson Bagent. Missed him wide open. Overthrow him. Luther Burden, 1 catch, 5 yards. Shamar Turner, inactive. Ozzie Trapillo, inactive. It's like, when does this become a Ryan Poles discussion too? Like, I'm not trying to kind of be, scatterbrain here, but this is, when you lose a game like this, that's where it's everything. It's everything. And I don't know what you do, man. Like, I don't think Dallas is as good as your first two opponents, so that's the good news. They did put up 37 points, and they're still playing as we're filming this in overtime against the Giants. Russell Wilson has thrown for over 400 yards. If the offense struggles against Matt Eberflus, that is going to be alarming. That is going to be alarming because the Giants cooked Matt Eberflus's defense today. Speaking of which, who you got next week? CHI for the Bears, DAL for the Cowboys. Let us know in the comments. Final few thoughts, because we do have a couple injuries to report. Jalen Johnson re-aggravated his groin injury. Did not return. Not good. Not good, especially what happened after that. Defense couldn't cover. Tyreek Stevenson got fucking torched. So did Nashawn Wright. TJ Edwards looked like he re-aggravated his hamstring injury. Did not return. Not good. Defense. Listen, the last 5 quarters, you've given up 73 points defensively. Alarm bells. 6 points allowed the first 3 quarters, 73 the last 5. Team's got to wake up quick. I mean, I tweeted this out. We are 2 losses away from mock draft season. Already. We are already that close. Absolutely unbelievable. All right. There's our post-game show. Bad, man. Shout out Roma Dunze. Good game. Did have a couple drops, but 7 for 128, 2 touchdowns. He looked good, but, man, really, really bad. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for 130,000 subs. Bear down.